What is up, loud and proud crowd? Right now I'm actually hooking my battery pack here because I have a feeling it's going to be a long work day out on the truck. And the other day, first off, yesterday we put some new moose antlers on the red 12 valve, so these look great. And some people didn't realize that these folded up. I didn't realize that some people had these on the trucks and they had no idea. I actually had like 3 or 4 different guys message me like, oh dude, I had no idea that those mirrors folded up. Like I thought they just stayed, you know, in that position, or you had mirrors that were in this position. And no, they fold up and fold down, and they fold in. So just thought I'd mention that real quick. But also the other day in the video, I've had some people, I kind of had on my Snapchat, which you haven't added me, add me up, man. It's where it's at. I get a lot of stuff. I ask questions, I announce some things, and a lot of you guys on Snapchat get to see things and hear about things before anybody else does, so definitely add me there. But I had rate my channel on a 1 to 10. What do you guys think compared to some of the other channels? And pretty much everybody said either an 8 to a 10. There were some people that gave like a 5 and whatnot, and I mean they're just being honest, and that's what I want. And they're like, hey, I mean, I like your videos, I watch them, but you don't do enough of this, there's not enough of this, there's not enough of this. And most of what I was getting at, basically as a conclusion, is I wasn't spending enough money. And it sounds kind of like obvious, like, okay, well, obviously if you're constantly modding out your truck, people are going to be happier. And some people kind of had the idea that the days that I'm not doing mods, but I'm still trying to create a piece of content, that I'm just half-butting stuff and not really putting in my full efforts, and that's why I'm not building every day, is because I'm just slacking and basically not putting in effort. And I kind of want to just kind of sum that up. The days that I'm not building, but I'm still out trying to come up with some kind of content for you guys, that's not half-butting. That's me going, okay, well, I don't have an easy-to-do slap-on light bar or tow mirrors or, this or that or the other. Like, I don't have an easy mod. I need to still come up with some kind of entertainment, some kind of piece of footage for these people. I don't look at that as half-butting when I don't have easy-to-do work and mods. I look at that as going above and beyond to try to make sure I can still put forth the effort to get you guys some kind of footage, so I don't leave you guys hanging. So that's how I look at it. So on those days, it's not just, oh, I'm half-button. It's just I'm still trying to do my best to get you guys some kind of video, even when there's not just easy, obvious things to do. So that's kind of that point. So if I don't do constant work and constant blowing money every single day doing work, I do apologize, but you just can't really do that in small stages of a channel, or you will go broke very fast. On this truck today, what we're going to be trying to do is get this beast slapped in there. Basically, I've got some 1/2-inch bolts that are 1 1/2 inches long, grade 8. And really quick, look at this chassis saver. It's water repellent, so there's water beaded up on this stuff, and there's nowhere else on the frame. There's water beaded up only on the chassis saver. So this stuff is freaking sweet. I can't wait to get the whole thing coated, because right now the water just kind of like soaks into it, which is not a good thing, I can imagine. But what we're gonna do is get these rivets taken care of. Now some guys say grind them off, and other guys say do not grind them, drill them out. So not sure exactly how we're going to do this, but I might end up trying both methods, because I don't know if, okay, the grinder is here, so we do have the grinder as an option. It just depends if the grinder will be able to actually reach some of these areas. So basically I'm gonna probably take some towel and tape around these fuel lines, just because I don't know if a spark could get in the fuel lines, if they're still fuel in there, and light a fire or something, just extra safety precautions you want to try to take. And I do have a mask now. I do have some masks. I found some in the dirt and grime over here the other day, because I had some people pretty concerned. They're like, dude, like, you got to get a mask on or you're going to really screw up your lungs. So appreciate the caring messages, guys. I'm going to try to be more cautious about that kind of stuff. I just don't really think about it when, from when I'm doing the work, I feel like nothing's really flying up in my face or, giving me a hard time. But I guess at the end of the day, when you look at your face and you get all this rust dust across your face, you definitely probably inhaled some of that stuff. So I'm going to try to wear a mask from now on. So I do appreciate the messages of kind of filling me in on that and making me more aware of that. Anyways, I'm gonna get the camera propped up. I'm probably gonna try using the grinder first, and if I can get flush under the head of those and grind them off, I'm gonna do that. if it doesn't work, then I don't know. So I'm gonna just try that first, see if it works, and if it does, great. We're gonna get that new part bolted in. But before I bolt in the new part, get everything sanded down behind there. And if I get it down sanded enough, I might just coat with chassis saver everything where this is gonna be, so that everything, you know, even hidden that you're not even really gonna see, can still be coated and taken care of properly. So we're gonna get to that right now. Okay guys, I just got done chassis saver coating the, for sure, way more than just the areas around where the new cross member is going to end up sliding in. However, I'm going to go and take a break inside, get a bite to eat. I've been out here about 3.5 hours now working on this and getting some stuff done, so I'm pretty excited about that. I did end up chassis saver coating more than just those two spots on each side of the frame, just because I already had it out in those brushes, those foam brushes, even normal brushes, whatever you end up using. If you know, once you stop using it and it stops, you know, getting moisture on the brush, they harden up and you will not be able to use those again. So since we are limited on that stuff, I'm trying to, I just did all the stuff that I knew we weren't going to do any more sanding with first, and then the areas that I thought we might want to touch up a little bit more with the sanding wheel, then, you know, with the wire wheel, then I didn't do those areas quite yet. So let me show you a little bit what we did here. There's where the cross member is going to go in. On that side, I got this all coated up. Just don't coat the threads on, you know, where your shocks mount up and stuff that you're going to have to swap out eventually. But got that all coated up on top. I did the bed mount up there. I recoated the bed mount here. Everything up top is good. And then I did down inside here behind all the, you know, the wiring, brake lines, back behind the fuel lines a little bit there. Everything up here coated. I did the tops, and then I did the inside back to about here. And then I did the top section of the frame because I knew that was going to get done for sure. Down here I didn't do because there's still a little bit I'd like to chip off and sand down here. And this top section was sanded down as good as it was going to get, so I just ended up coating that whole thing. You know, like I said, with this kind of stuff, you don't want to coat the threads on that kind of stuff because, you know, the next guy might have to, you know, take it off. Even if you don't plan on doing it, you never know if the next guy's going to want to have to, you know, swap stuff out down the road or whatever. It's all coated up. Looks pretty good. Then over here I did just the outside of the bed mount there. Did some of that. Up on top, up to the cab just about. And some guys asked me, they're like, you know, hey, are you going to take the whole cab off so that you can get the very tops, you know, top part of the frame there? And I'm like, nah, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to reach as much as I can with the sander and cure it that way. But for the most part, like if you look here, the top of the frame does not, it doesn't take a lot of strain and a lot of stress, and it, for the most part, doesn't really get seen with a lot of rust because it's, first off, it's hidden up out of the elements, and pretty much no salt and stuff really ever gets up in there. And so, you know, the frame is pretty good up under there. Most, like I couldn't even sand under there, but you can't even see any like built up, you know, erosion or anything like that, like you did back here with like this kind of stuff, which was all over the frame. But up under the cab, like there's none of that, you know, up there. So I'm not too worried about that. There's a view at the back side there where that cross member is going to go back in. Got that all coated up. Hit up on the top, up to the cab there. looks pretty good. So that's what I got done thus far. This stuff all needs to dry before I can mess with sliding this piece in there, which I'm really excited to do, quite honestly. I don't know why I'm so excited to get that part in, but we're gonna get that in there, and then hopefully we can finish sanding up a couple small areas, maybe get some more of that coated. The only areas that I'm not coating it with Chassis Saver, for example, this spot here where we got to do some welding, that top over there where we got to do some welding, you know, the crack under there, I didn't Chassis Saver the underside of that. Same with the crack that was over towards the front of the fuel tank area, not going to Chassis Saver around that. Just so it makes it easier, and it's just, you know, we don't got to go over and redo stuff. So just gonna wait till that's all welded up and put together, and then gonna go over those areas and Chassis Saver coat them. So that is what we're gonna do. But yeah, so far so good. Everything's cleaning up nice. And for my drive shaft on this truck, since I got so many complaints about, you know, Chassis Saver coating, my dad's drive shaft on the red 12 valve, I just ended up not doing anything with. I'm just gonna leave it, just so I don't have to deal with those comments. And it's really not a big deal. Those drive shafts are pretty darn solid, so I'm not too worried about it. I'm gonna wait for this all to dry up, then I'm gonna come back and hopefully we can get to dropping in that new cross member. Like I've said in the last couple of videos, everybody recommended grade 8 bolts, so I'm gonna run the 1/2" grade 8 bolts through there. And I got some nuts, some washers, and I'm also going to use a lock washer as well. Well, we got the cross member all bolted down in. I just took the air gun, and it's a 3/4 inch head on this 1/2" bolt, this grade 8. And put a lock washer, a washer, then a lock washer, then the nut, and bolt it all together, and that thing ain't going nowhere. So works out great. I don't think we're gonna have any issues there. I got that thing torqued down as much as it would go until it stopped, you know, moving at all. So we should be good there, so that's good. Now what I'm probably gonna do, because I've already got the cross member in and the sandblaster's not working, so unfortunately we're not gonna be able to use that on this project, because it's just, there's been some comments on it, on, you know, what people suggest, you know, why it's not working, what will make it work, and all this stuff. And you know, a lot of the stuff that you guys are telling us to do we've already done, and it just is not working. We've got bigger valves, we even got smaller media, and nothing is working on that. So I don't know what we're gonna do with it, but I'm just not gonna screw with it for this truck, because I want to get it done. And I've got most of my sanding already done, you know, over the course of a couple of days, getting in all the small cracks and crevices and getting stuff nailed down. So I might set the chair back here, the old granny chair. You guys love the granny chair. Get the granny chair set back here, get the camera propped up, and maybe get to doing a little bit more sanding with the grinder wheel, with the wire brush wheel, I mean, and see if we can get the rest of the small stuff sanded up so it's all good to go. And then I might take some brushes and get to coating the entire frame. I don't know if I can get it all tonight, but I'm going to try my best. I'm going to get this camera propped up and get some more work done. I just finished doing what I'm going to be doing for today. I got the Chassis Saver all used up that I had, and if you're wondering why the camera is different, I have to use my iPhone right now because the GoPro, believe it or not, today I used 64 gigs of memory on my GoPro, and I went through all 3 batteries 2 times each. So I've used 6 batteries and went through 64 gigs of storage today filming for you guys, and it is now, what time is it? I don't know, I think it's about 5:30, 6 o'clock, and I've been out here all day trying to get this stuff done. So I hope you guys enjoyed that video, because it took a lot of time. So I got a lot of stuff coated on here. And basically, it looks pretty good. I got the cross member in today. Got a lot more stuff sanded down. Got this all coated. I ended up keeping these airbags. Ended up just putting some good bolts in there with some nuts and washers and lock washers on there. I didn't get this side all finished, and the reason I didn't keep on doing this is because we probably only got 35 to 45 minutes of sunlight left, and I don't want to have a ton of wet, you know, chassis saver on the frame, and then, you know, the dew sets in and all that stuff, and then, you know, the whole deal. So it's just not a good idea. So in about 35-45 minutes, what's on here can be pretty much dried on in a sense, and then, you know, the rest of it can cure in the dark. It's not a big deal, but the initial drying you want to have done at least when you have some kind of sunlight to speed up the process a little bit. But yeah, looks good. Everything looks good. Got a lot of stuff done. I got the rear axle sanded down pretty good, so I'm gonna try to get that done too. But anyways, guys, that is probably gonna wrap up the video for today. I ended up doing, let's see, cross member in. I got the old cross member out. I got the new cross member in. I got a lot of the frame sanded down another time really well. I ended up getting some chassis saver put on there. I fixed that airbag that had the 2 broken bolts. I replaced those 2 bolts. Yeah, we got a lot of stuff done. I was out here for probably 9-10 hours today, so really good day, and it's gonna be a pain in the butt importing those videos tonight to get this video up. I don't even know when I'm gonna get this video up, because those videos will take a long time to save down to my Mac. If I really have 64 gigs of video, that is insane. So I don't know how that's gonna go. I know these days, and I've had some comments recently like, dude, you're just stretching out this, you know, process of getting your frame done so you can just milk it and get more views and more videos out of that process. And I'm by no means doing this. I do not like doing little tedious stuff like this, like sanding around little stuff and having to paint that stuff. Like, I don't like doing that. Why would I want to try to drag that process out? It really just takes that long to do. Like, it's taken a long time to get this all sanded down, sand it again, take the tank out, sand behind there, sand, you know, apply, and it's just, it takes a lot of time. So that's why things don't usually go to plan with automotive stuff. Anybody who does automotive stuff knows, cannot relate. Just never usually goes to plan. It's never usually as fast or as easy as you think it's going to be. So I guess you just got to plan on longer amount of time for everything. But I don't want to say too much because I don't want to make any promises, but I hope by tomorrow, I might regret saying this, but I hope by tomorrow we can have my frame done, my under the bed, everything under the bed, all sanded. It's already sanded, so I just need to get it all coated, put the tank back in. Oh, something else we got to do tomorrow, I think. Yeah, we should be able to do tomorrow. We got to get the truck pulled into the barn because we don't have a fuel tank, and I can't put the fuel tank back on because where we got to weld a spot is right next to the fuel tank. So we have to push my truck into the barn tomorrow and get some stuff welded up, and then once that stuff's welded up, then I'm going to try to go through and finish some more chassis saver coating to try to get that all wrapped up so we can get my bed back on in a couple days, get the truck listed for sale. There's too much to talk about, too much to get done, and I've really got to get, my dad is actually wanting me to go over to the property yet tonight and work, and then after that I'm probably going to have to come back and try to edit this video, get it posted. It's going to be a long night. It's been a long day already. So anyways, guys, hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, could you please leave me a like on this video? It really helps out. Leave your comments below. Subscribe if you haven't. Join the family. I will catch you guys back tomorrow. Peace.
Doing what I love, going day to day, but I know it takes time and I'm patiently waiting. Sometimes I contemplate, cause one day you feel so close and the next is out of sight. But I know I gotta hold on tight to go back to just going out every night. Like if I'm about to let it go now, I can live alright, live a normal life, doing 9 to 5. But I know I'm more than that. I gained this skill, wasn't born with that. At the end of the life, it's a memory.